This program is made possible in part by funding from Associated Bank with 17 locations in the St. Paul area. Raymond Auto Body, providing collision repair services to the Twin Cities for 4 generations. RDA Collectibles, specializing in coin collectibles and sports memorabilia in the Oakdale area. Karen's Monogramming and Sportswear, customizing embroidery for over 10 years in Oakdale. Dar's Double Scoop Ice Cream and Coffee Shop, located on Rice Street and Cook Avenue in St. Paul. Maplewood Dental Lab, serving the East Metro for over 25 years. And by continuing contributions from viewers like you. Thank you. Welcome everyone to Seafoam Stadium as Thai Video Productions proudly presents high school football. Today's match is the homecoming game for one of these teams in a conference fight within the Minnesota Christian Athletic Association, featuring the New Life Academy Eagles and the St. Agnes Aggies. St. Agnes hosting their homecoming game tonight. All the action is coming up shortly. Greetings everyone, glad to have you back. I'm Mike Peden, once again here with the always professional Adam Jewett. And Adam, St. Agnes coming in here at 3-2, New Life at 1-4, and St. Agnes, the key for them tonight, they just love to air out the ball.
Tonight they need to control the ball, and by doing that, they're going to do that in the passing game. They want to, Coach told me before they start here, they want to spread it out tonight and get as many offensive receivers involved as possible. They want to stop the run, obviously. New Life is known for running the ball. On offense, their key guy tonight is Andrew Johnson. He's a 6'2", 190-pound quarterback. He's got to have a big game for them tonight, not only with his arm, but with his legs.
And for New Life Academy, obviously the key for them is to try to stop that aerial assault for St. Agnes. The Aggies, they run a shotgun formation, starting 4 receivers. So for New Life Academy, it's the second year that they've meshed with the St. Croix Preparatory School, and with the young roster and 2 teams trying to play as one, chemistry is going to be a big thing tonight for the Eagles.
Yeah, tonight the Eagles, I just got done talking to Coach Paul Mork, and he says they got to control the line of scrimmage. They need to they want to stop the run, but they also want to limit them on big plays in the passing game. They're a collective unit on defense. They're not looking for one standout guy. They're looking for their whole defensive scheme to be a collective unit, and they want to run the ball well. They want to keep that Aggie offense on the sidelines instead of on the field.
If they can do that, New Life might be able to pull off an upset here. So who will come out on top tonight for the St. Agnes homecoming? Stick around to find out. We'll take a quick break and join you with the kickoff. This program is made possible in part by funding from Associated Bank with 17 locations in the St. Paul area. Raymond Auto Body, providing collision repair services to the Twin Cities for 4 generations. RDA Collectibles, specializing in coin collectibles and sports memorabilia in the Oakdale area. Karen's Monogramming and Sportswear, customizing embroidery for over 10 years in Oakdale. And by continuing contributions from viewers like you. Thank you.
Here we go. We're lining up to kick this game off. Let's get it started right now. Number 33 kicks the ball off. Here we go. Picked up at the 13-yard line, brought right up the middle. And he's got through a hole, hit at about the 29. So a 1st and 10 on the 29.
That was DeJohn Davis with the catch, and decent return. Field position going to be key for both these teams, especially for St. Agnes. I know they can air out the ball, but if they can start from the 30, the 40, that gives them less yardage to work with, and they don't have to air it out so much.
So here we go, Stenerson in the shotgun, and then as we have said, St. Agnes, the Aggies, they like to spread it out and throw the ball. And look at this, they're starting in the shotgun formation. That's Stenerson. I can't see the number for the guy on the near side because they've got 2 wide receivers on the near side, 2 on the far side, and there's a snap. Stenerson back to pass, and it is complete to number 18.
Andrew Johnson's complete
to Mario Franco on the reception. A gain of 3 on the first pass of the game.
Mashad with the tackle, and that was a great open field tackle off the screen pass for Mashad. That's what New Life Academy needs to do.
2nd and 7 at the 34.
And are we seeing some Wildcat already?
3 receivers on the far side, 1 on the near side. Shotgun formation. That's number 9, Ryan Hernandez, next to the quarterback. That's Andrew Johnson hollering out the play here, checking the play on his wrist here. Here we go. And the snap. Stenerson back to pass, out to the near side, incomplete. Intended for number 18, Franco. He had a great great read. It was a good quick pass. Franco just couldn't come up with that one.
Franco leads the team in receptions, 22 this season coming into tonight. He will be the go-to man for the Aggies. And one thing I should note, there is no play clock here, even though there is in high school football. It does not run, so while Johnson is picking up plays from the coach, he also has to keep in mind to get these plays off without the benefit of a clock.
Here we go, Ryan Hernandez next to Stenerson in the back. 3 receivers on the far side, 1 on the near. That's Hernandez in motion. That's the option play. Hernandez on the side here, breaks a tackle, and it looks to be close to a first down. As a matter of fact, he has a first down. That's 8 yards for Ryan Hernandez.
Hernandez leading the team in rushing, 4.1 yards per carry, 243 yards this season. He's fumbled the ball twice, but he scored 2 touchdowns, and that was a big third down for St. Agnes.
Keeps the drive going. And it looks like we're going to have a measurement just to make sure. It was pretty close. I thought head referee Chuck Kroll gave him a nice spot there, but it might be a little closer than we think.
Speaking of referees, Chuck Kroll likes to call holding penalties, so keep an eye out for that yellow flag. You might see more holding penalties than usual tonight.
Yeah, Chuck is known for his holding calls. I do know that.
I understand that you played some games that he officiated.
I have. It is a first down. First down for the Aggies at the 42. And again, the first 3 plays of this drive, Mike, that's all we've seen is spread offense, 4 wideouts. They really are making it difficult on New Life Academy, on the Eagles here with this spread offense.
865 yards passing coming into tonight's game. It's clear what St. Agnes is going to do to move the ball up.
So here we go. Again, shotgun formation. Ryan Hernandez to the left of the quarterback. 2 receivers near, 2 receivers far. And here's the snap. Stenerson back to pass. He's got it away, and that is incomplete. Number 3, Fossen it was his intended target, and it looked like it just slipped right through his hands.
4 receivers went deep to try to spread out the defense, and then Fossen had an open hole, even though 3 New Life players were converging on his position. And I believe you. I agree. That slipped through his hands. He should have caught that ball.
Yeah, he was open on the far side of the field. Again, it's 2nd and 10. On the 41, and we'll call it 41.5 yard line. Stenerson shouting out the plays to his receivers. Boy, this spread offense is fun to watch here to start this game out.
Yeah, they don't give you halves in football in terms of yardage.
Stenerson takes the snap, rolls out to the near side, and he throws. It looks to be complete to number 18, Franco, for a gain of about 6.
Again, another play where they run out, then cut back inside to draw off that defense just to pick up a few yards. It's 3rd down now, but a much more manageable 3rd down, and you don't need to get 10, 20 yards every play. 5, 6 yards will do the trick.
And again, those guys, the Eagles up front, them big guys got through the line, so it was nice to see them move the pocket. Stenerson takes the snap, shotgun formation, out to the side, intended for Fossen, and it looks like he wasn't ready for it. The ball was there before the receiver had a chance to learn.
There was some miscommunication on that. There was some miscommunication on that play. Johnson got rid of it, and Fossen turned around, and then he all of a sudden saw the ball, tried to make the most of it, but a big stop here for the Eagles.
So here we go, 4th down and 4 at the Aggies 48-yard line, and they are going for it. 2 receivers near, 2 receivers far side. Stenerson shouting out the play. That's Hernandez in the backfield. You know, Stenerson kind of looks like Peyton Manning here. Just shouting plays out, taking control of the offense. Stenerson takes the snap. It's a quarterback keeper right up the middle, and Stenerson bulls his way through for a 6-yard gain. That's a nice run by the quarterback.
Johnson, 214 yards rushing for St. Agnes. That's 2nd on the team, and that's the perfect way to draw off that defense. Everyone expects you to throw the ball.
I keep saying Stenerson, but it's Johnson. I got my Eagles and my Aggies.
You want a glass of water?
I might need one.
But as I was saying, Johnson, it was the perfect way to draw them off. When you're throwing the ball all the time, a quarterback keeper, you've got that big space up the middle. Great 1st down play, or 4th down play for first.
Number 10, Johnson in the shotgun. 2 receivers far, 2 receivers near. That's Hernandez right next to him. Fakes the handoff, and he's going deep. And he's overshot his target. That's number 3, Mike Fossen. And he was open. He slipped in the back there.
That is just a tough break for St. Agnes. They drew them off with the fake handoff, even though they've thrown the ball on most of their play selections. And Fossen worked his way open out of single coverage. Johnson just couldn't hit him.
Yeah, it was a good shot, though. Again, that's what we're going to see out of this offense tonight. It's a spread shotgun offense. They run out of the shotgun. They don't like the quarterback under center. They like Johnson to be able to use his feet.
Gives you some space in case of a defensive blitz.
Johnson takes a snap, hands off to Henderson up the middle, and there is absolutely nowhere to go. Number 68 on the tackle for the Eagles. That is Matt Brocker, one of the big tackles up front.
And that play had no chance of success. Great defensive penetration for the Eagles.
So here we go, shotgun formation, 2 receivers near, 2 receivers far. Johnson just pounding out the signs here. He does. He looks like Peyton Manning, like just running all over, controlling the offense. He looks pretty sharp here to start this game out.
They say he's Division I material.
Johnson takes a snap at the quarterback keeper, running up the middle, breaks a couple tackles for about a 10-yard gain. That's impressive.
That's the second time he's taken the ball himself for a first down, and it all starts in the line of scrimmage. Derek Johnson had a hole on the left side. He found it, smashed through it, and then once you get through that hole, you find yourself in the secondary, and usually that means you got picked up a big gain. 2 great runs for first downs by the quarterback.
Andrew Johnson looking pretty sharp on this opening drive for the Aggies. Shotgun formation, 3 receivers to the near, 1 on the top side. And then got Ryan Hernandez to Johnson's left. Johnson takes the snap, backs up, holding onto the ball. He's getting flushed out of the pocket, and he's sacked.
Flag on the play.
Flag on the play, but he is sacked by number 79, Zach Jutzak.
And we'll check the marker here, but that sack was created by great coverage from the New Life Academy Eagles. I checked down the field. There was nobody open. There was man-to-man coverage on everybody, but none of the players could break open, and so that Derek Johnson, without that tight end or at fullback to help block, he just ran out of space. But it looks like
personal foul, hands to the face
mask
on the Eagles.
And that's the worst thing you can do if you're New Life. You just sacked the quarterback, might have stopped their momentum, and now you just give them 15 yards and an automatic first down. I'm pretty sure the New Life Academy coach is not going to be too thrilled with that.
So here we go now, St. Agnes, 1st and 10 on the Eagle 22-yard line. And again, here we go with the shotgun formation. Johnson in the backfield in shotgun formation. Hernandez to his right. We got 2 receivers on the near side, 2 on the far. Johnson takes the snap, rolls out of the pocket to the near side, and he goes, it's complete to number 18. Franco. And that was great vision by Derek Johnson. We were speaking about him being like Peyton Manning. That's something that Peyton Manning does. He finds that open receiver. Franco called for it. Coverage broke down in his area. Johnson finds him. Another first down. And look at this. Johnson has showed his athleticism on this first drive. He has not only thrown the ball well on this first drive, but he also has 2 big rushes on 3rd down to keep drives alive. Again, shotgun formation. Hernandez to his left. 2 receivers far, 2 receivers near. Johnson takes the pass, quick slant, incomplete. Intended receiver Mike Fossen, and he was open. It was just a little bit behind him, Mike.
We were talking about Peyton Manning. That was more of a Brett Favre type play. Johnson throws a laser in there to Fossen with that little bit of space. Fossen just can't come up with the catch.
So here we are, 2nd and goal on the 8-yard line.
The way St. Agnes is moving this ball, I would not be surprised if they punch it in. It may take them a couple tries, but New Life would be victorious, or feel like a victory, if they could stop them and force them to settle for 3.
Shotgun formation. Johnson takes the snap. Quick slant again, and it's incomplete again. Same play to Mike Fossen, and a little high on the pass.
Again, quick slant. I tell you, Fossen and Johnson are not hooking up. We're speaking of Favre, it was like Favre and Berrien having some trouble syncing up offensively. I don't know, maybe that suspension has thrown off the timing between those two, but we've seen a few plays tonight where Fossen has not been able to come up with the catch. Those two just can't find any rhythm.
3rd and goal from the Eagle 8-yard line. Johnson takes the snap, flushed out, moves out of the pocket, looks like an option play. Johnson breaks a tackle, and he's in the end zone for an 8-yard touchdown. Number 75 had him in the backfield. Dylan Ketter had him in the backfield and lost him. Johnson breaks a tackle and scores from 8 yards out.
That play was all Derek Johnson, and we talked about his athleticism early. That was another example of it. He had nowhere to run. Nobody was open. So he decides to take it himself, and he should have been tackled, but he breaks through that tackle, and then he gets the ball past the pylon. Derek Johnson, without that athleticism, that would have been a stop by New Life and a huge blow to the St. Agnes morale.
We're both having name troubles. Andrew Johnson on the 8-yard.
I'm thinking
Andrew, we apologize right now. We are sorry. Andrew takes the snap.
2-point
and
conversion.
He's flushed out of the pocket, keeps it himself. No, he doesn't. Throws it away, and it looks like it's picked off in the end zone. So the 2-point conversion is no good, but an impressive drive by the Aggies to start this game as they take the lead 6-0.
7:05 left to go in the first quarter, and to explain to Derek Johnson, Derek Johnson is the kicker for the Hamlin Pipers, and I'll be calling that game tomorrow against St. John's, so I'm already thinking ahead.
Well, let's not get too ahead of ourselves. We got a great game in front of us right now.
No, it's not.
The Aggies put together a great drive to start this game. It is Aggies homecoming here at Seafoam Stadium, and we'll be right back right after this. This broadcast is brought to you by Play It Again Sports, located at 145 North Snelling Avenue in St. Paul.
LetterTech Custom Vinyl Graphics, located at University Avenue West in St. Paul.
We'd like to thank Dar's Ice Cream, located at
Rice Street.
You've got an address for me.
1046 Rice Street. You can't miss it.
We'd also like to thank AutoMax, located at 555 University Avenue in St. Paul.
Cosmic Coffee, or Cosmic's Coffee, located at Snelling Avenue North in St. Paul. And I want to go back to that first drive for St. Agnes, when it looked like New Life Academy was about to stop them on third and in that one case 4th down. Andrew Johnson kept the drive alive by himself, and it was all on those quarterback keepers. So they like to air it out, but I think the St. Agnes coach.
So Ryan Gutzman, who also plays defensive tackle, kicking the ball off here for the Aggies.
Short kick
taken at the 21-yard line by number 32, and he breaks a tackle, gets around, makes a spin move at the 40-yard line, and is taken down 3 yards after. It's at the 43-yard line. Looks like a 22-yard gain by number 32, Josh Towsley.
St. Agnes must have a lot of confidence in their defense to make a short kick like that, but the advantage of a short kick is that you don't spread out your coverage too thin and have it run back for a touchdown. So it looks like St. Agnes is willing to give up some field position to ensure that they don't get any touchdowns on special teams. So the Aggies must have a lot of confidence in their defense.
And I must correct myself. That was Matt Mashad on the return.
This will be our first look at New Life Academy.
And look at this. They're coming out via shotgun formation. 3 receivers on the near side, 1 on the far. Stenerson in the shotgun. Hands off to Dami Osanubi for a 6-7 yard gain. So again, they're spreading out the Aggies on defense, but running the ball out of that formation.
And the shotgun is the perfect play to draw them off or to fool the defense. You have 4 receivers, so you spread out the coverage. We've got a player down for New Life Academy, but on that run, you just hand it off. Look like you're going to throw, hand it off. You pick up a few yards, and now you've got a 2nd and short.
Yeah, and we do have a player down for the Eagles at the 50-yard line. The umpire's in his way, so I cannot see the number.
Just about every other coach for New Life Academy as they're looking at this play. I want to go back to the St. Agnes offensive drive while I had a moment. I have a feeling that Andrew Johnson might be the X factor here for St. Agnes. If he might decide to run the ball. In fact, he's out there on defense as we speak, number 10. So he is definitely a player. Andrew Johnson, the linebacker for St. Agnes. In fact, I will In fact, do we have time to mention the St. Agnes defense?
We do have a time to mention the St. Agnes. Let's get into the starting lineups. We'll start on defense for the Aggies. Go ahead, Mike.
On defense, they run 5 people on the line of scrimmage. So at center is Josh Jewett. At left tackle is Lucas Gunn. Oh, no, that's the offensive line. I'm getting mixed up here. So Mitchell there we go. Charlie Steiner is at defensive end. Then you've got Michael Windingstad at defensive tackle. Lucas Gunn at defensive tackle. And Mitchell Heesh also at defensive tackle. Linebackers, Ryan Hernandez, Andrew Johnson, and Ryan Gutzman. And the safeties are Fossend, John Kimlinger, and Joe Anderson.
And for the New Life Academy Eagles up front, starting from left to right, left tackle Sam Berg, number 55. Number 68, Mike Brocken. Number 72, Dan LeMay is the center. Zach Jusak is number 79, also at right guard. At right tackle, Adam Kraus, number 75. The quarterback for the Eagles, number 5, Carl Stenerson. And the running back, tailback, number 28, Dami Osanubi. For their receivers, number 34, Sam Default. Cody Linton will also line up in the backfield, number 11. Alex Heiser, number 12. He will also line up in the backfield, but is a starting wide receiver. And Matt Mashad plays fullback, halfback, and wide receiver, number 33.
The injured player was Sam Default. He had to get help off the field. I don't know if we'll see him the rest of this game.
So here we go. Stenerson in the shotgun. Osanubi to his left. 2 receivers to the near side, 2 on the far. Stenerson takes the pass, or takes the snap, hands off to Osanubi for a 3-yard gain. And an Eagle first down.
Osanubi averaging 5 yards per carry coming into tonight. And I don't think the New Life can keep on doing this before St. Agnes picks up on it. But if they do, or if they send 7 or 8 people in the box, that perhaps that's when Stenerson thinks, hey, it's time to throw. But I like this play calling from Paul Mork and the New Life Academy offense using the shotgun formation to open up some doors for the running game.
1st and 10 at the Aggie 47. And look at this. More shotgun. I have a feeling we're going to see a lot of shotgun tonight. Stenerson, 3 receivers on the near side, 1 on the far. Stenerson takes the snap, hands off to Osanubi, who runs up the middle, breaks a couple tackles, and runs for 8 yards.
Osanubi broke through the first wave. There were 2 defenders coming into him. He squeezed through the middle of it, then ran up the field. He's had decent gains in all 3 plays. They have yet to throw the ball. Osanubi has just been the benefactor of the shotgun formation setup that Paul Mork is calling.
So we are definitely seeing 2 different styles out of the shotgun formation. The Eagles have chose to run out of the shotgun, and the Aggies have just come out firing. 3 receivers on the far side, 1 on the near. Stenerson in the shotgun, Osanubi to his right. Stenerson takes the snap. It's a high snap. Handles it and hands off to Osanubi. Breaks a tackle. Spins around for another Eagles first down. That's a 5-yard gain. Dami Osanubi running to the left side of that big offensive line for the Eagles. And another Eagle first down.
I don't know how many times New Life Academy is going to run that play before St. Agnes picks up on it. 4 consecutive plays, 4 consecutive handoffs out of the shotgun formation. I don't know if it's missed tackling or just a misread play or something, but they've got to figure something out here because New Life Academy is just pounding them on the run.
Shotgun formation, 1 receiver near, 1 far. Fake handoff this time. Stenerson going long. He's got a guy. Number 2, and it's caught. A nice pass from Carl Stenerson.
Alex Heiser.
Alex Heiser.
He's the kicker.
He is the kicker.
And that play, I thought that was going to get broken up, possibly picked off. Stenerson was hit as he threw. I think someone got to him just as he released the ball. It was up for grabs. But give credit to
Alex Heiser.
Give credit to Heiser for staying on it and staying alert. He won the basketball game for the rebound there.
I tell you what, if the basketball coach is watching, he might want to sign this kid up if he doesn't play already, because that was a Randy Moss play. Out jumped him, shotgun formation. Osanubi to the left of Stenerson, 3 receivers on the near side, 1 on the far. And here's the snap. Stennerson takes a snap. Inside handoff to Osanubi, and it is a touchdown. He was caught up in the backfield, but able to spin out of the tackle for a 2-yard touchdown. Osanubi looks very impressive on that first drive.
Osanubi was wrapped up, and he just lunged forward. It was sort of an Adrian Peterson type run where he was just running angry, and he was not going to stop until he crossed that goal line. The way this game is shaped up so far, we've seen one offensive series for both teams, and they're going to kick here, and touchdowns on both ends. We could have a high-scoring affair.
Yeah, this could be a shootout, and I'll tell you what.
No pun intended, right?
And the extra point is up and good. Excuse me, no good. The big wood piece in my way got so I couldn't see the referee.
That's about our only problem with this stadium, but we'll talk more about that later. But that's our only complaint, trust me.
So after 2 drives, 3:54 to go in the first quarter, it is 6-6 at the Aggie homecoming game. And that was an impressive drive by the Eagles to answer the Aggies.
I've got a feeling whoever sells guns or ammunition, I wonder if they have a lot of customers from St. Agnes and New Life Academy. I was surprised at that goal line play at the 2-yard line that they ran shotgun. Then again, that's been successful so far, and you work with what works for you. You don't try something if you already have a proven successful formation. But I don't know, maybe someone forgot to tell these folks that there isn't any bans on guns or anything like that yet.
Well, Paul Mork told me before the game that he likes to do both. He likes to run and pass out of the spread formation, and
we saw
that
both.
drive right there just proves what they did a great job. One deep play, and they ran the ball right up the middle. That is high school football right there.
St. Agnes did the very same thing on their first drive, so if these defenses can't put themselves together here, and I'm surprised that Mashad, who at the kicker, he's wearing short socks, but if
it's like 30 degrees out there.
How do you do that? But if the defenses can't get together here, we could see a 50-50 tie at the end of 4 quarters.
Mashad on the kickoff, and it is caught and returned at the 24, and he brings it back up to about the 32. Alex Johnson on the return.
So St. Agnes starting with a little bit better field position than their first drive. And as we saw, I don't think field position may not matter for either of these teams if they continue to move the ball this well on offense.
Well, the offenses for both teams had impressive opening drives to start this game. So here we go. Johnson in the shotgun formation. 2 receivers near, 2 receivers far. Hernandez in the backfield. Johnson, it's a quarterback keeper on the snap. He gets around the corner to the near side, and he breaks. He's got a hole. That's a 12-yard gain, 13-yard gain for Andrew Johnson.
That was a nice cut by Johnson on that run. He picked up a couple yards, then he saw some traffic in his way, so when he was going to run inside, he cut back to the outside, and that's where he found some extra space and picked up the first down.
So a 13-yard gain for Andrew Johnson, who's not only showing the Aggie fans that he's got it with his arm, but he's got it with his leg tonight too. He looks very impressive tonight. Shotgun formation, 2 receivers on the far side, 2 on the near side. Hernandez to the left of the quarterback. 1st and 10 at the Aggie 44. Johnson takes the snap. It's a little pass out to the flat here, caught by Hernandez, but the Eagle pursuit was fantastic. No gain.
Absolutely fantastic. He catches the ball behind the line of scrimmage, and that sometimes works and sometimes the defense picks up on that. 3 players converged on Hernandez, and that play had no chance.
So 2nd and 10 at the Aggie 48-yard line. 3 receivers on the near side, 1 on the far. Johnson in the shotgun. Hernandez to his right. Johnson takes the snap, rolls out of the pocket on the near side, and throws. It is complete to number 84.
Kyle Bennett.
The
4th-string receiver.
For 11 yards, and that is an Aggie first down.
On that play, for a moment, Charlie Church, number 25, was open. Then he decided to go to Bennett, and they're running no huddle. It is like a Peyton Manning offense. No huddle and shouting out the plays, and it's worked so far for St. Agnes. The defense doesn't have time to regroup.
Two receivers near side, two far side. Andrew Johnson, number 10, in the shotgun, shouting out to his receivers on the near side here. Hernandez lined up to his left.
6 people up front for New Life Academy.
Johnson takes the snap. It's a quarterback keeper up the middle, breaks a couple tackles, and is moving the pile, moves the pile 3 yards as Johnson takes that quarterback keeper for a gain of 6.
And once again, Johnson was able to get through that first wave of defenders. And, well, it's not enough for a first down. He picked up 3 more yards by moving the pile himself. And as I mentioned, once you get through that first wave of defenders, it's pretty easy to pick up a solid gain.
And the Aggies choose to keep this no huddle. 2 receivers near, 2 receivers far. Johnson in the shotgun, Hernandez to his left. Johnson takes the snap, hands off to Hernandez up the middle. Hernandez breaks a tackle, spins around for a gain of 2 on the carry.
Number 72 for St. Agnes, Josh Jewett, the starting center, got in his way there, and so Hernandez had to cut to the right side, and I think that slight delay allowed the New Life Academy defense to zone in on him.
So we got a 3rd down here as Johnson gets the play from the sideline and shouts it out to his receivers. Another shotgun formation, and again, Mike, I have a feeling the shotgun's going to be popular tonight.
Trying to draw him off sides.
Johnson takes the snap, hands off to Hernandez. Big hole up the middle, and it looks to be close to a first down.
We're probably going to have a measurement.
I think so. But there was a huge hole on the left side of the line, and Hernandez exploded to it, but number 55 for the Eagles, Sam Berg.
That was short.
He stuffed that hole real quick. So here we go.
And that's the key. If there's a hole up the middle, you can close it quickly by good tackling, and that's what New Life Academy did.
4 wide receivers on this play, and we see Johnson under center for the first time. Johnson takes the ball, takes the snap, and keeps it himself for the quarterback keeper and gains 2 on the play.
And for New Life Academy, it was probably a good movement by the offensive line for St. Agnes, but when he moved under center, I had a feeling that Johnson was going to do a quarterback keeper there. That was the first time he had gone up under center before, and seeing his skills in the running game, it was no surprise that he was going to keep that ball and get the first down himself.
Johnson in the shotgun, 2 receivers near, 2 far. Johnson fakes the handoff, keeps the ball himself, rolls out to the near side, sets his feet and fires, and it is incomplete. Intended for number 84.
Bennett.
Number 84, Kyle Bennett. Thank you.
And Johnson, he was scrambling, so when you're under pressure, you're trying to get rid of the ball. I saw Matt Fossent open down in the middle of the field. If he had found him, that would have been a big gain and set up 1st and goal for St. Agnes, but they'll try again.
So here we go. 2nd and 10 from the Eagle 28-yard line. Johnson, high snap, grabs the snap on the bobble, passes. Oh, what a play by number 27 of the Eagles. Mr. Turch, who on the seam route was able to get his hand in there and knock that away.
And that was 2 great plays. Obviously, that was a great defensive play by number 27 for New Life Academy, but Johnson saw the pressure coming, and he got rid of the ball and found the open guy in Turch, but New Life Academy broke up that pass. So you saw 2 great plays in one, and it benefited the Eagles.
Andrew Johnson in the shotgun, 2 receivers near, 2 far. Johnson takes a snap. He's flushed out of the pocket, and he's not going anywhere as he's wrapped up by number 75 for the Eagles, Adam Kraus. That's a big sack for the Eagles.
And a great way to end the quarter, and now you put St. Agnes out of field goal range, and they're probably going to have to punt when we start the 2nd quarter.
That's the end of 1 at Seafoam Stadium, where the score is 6-6. We'll be right back right after this.
This program is made possible in part by funding from Associated Bank with 17 locations in the St. Paul area. Raymond Auto Body, providing collision repair services to the Twin Cities for 4 generations. RDA Collectibles, specializing in coin collectibles and sports memorabilia in the Oakdale area. Karen's Monogramming and Sportswear, customizing embroidery for over 10 years in Oakdale. Dar's Double Scoop Ice Cream and Coffee Shop, located on Rice Street and Cook Avenue in St. Paul. Maplewood Dental Lab, serving the East Metro for over 25 years. And by continuing contributions from viewers like you. Thank you.
Are we ready? Welcome back to start the second quarter. And here we go. Second quarter, Agnes got the ball. Fourth down and a mile. St. Agnes going for it.
Flag on the play.
And Johnson with a deep pass that's caught. We've got a play by Andrew Johnson. We got to check the play. There is a flag on the play, but it was Johnson to number 18, Franco. Mario Franco on the completion.
That penalty is going to be against New Life Academy. I don't see the referees. Well, now hang on. We'll see here.
They're talking it over, but there was a flag on the play. But as of right now, it is a 40-yard
illegal
touchdown
formation,
pass.
Illegal procedure, and that kills that drive. Well, it's still fourth down.
Well, that kills that touchdown. That's for sure.
And it doesn't kill the drive necessarily, but it killed a lot of momentum, and that was a great play from Johnson to number 18.
The ball up there beautifully
Franco.
to Mario Franco, and the illegal formation penalty nullifies a 40-yard touchdown from Andrew Johnson.
And it pushes them 5 yards back, and
so now
they're going to punt.
Now it makes
or maybe
it
not.
fourth and 27 from the Eagle 45. So it looks like you're right, Mike. Looks like they're going to punt the ball here.
No?
I take that back.
Jason Finney, he must have a lot of confidence in that offense. He's going to try. They have to get the ball past the 18-yard line for a first down.
Here we go. 3 receivers near side, 1 far. Johnson takes the snap, and there he goes. He's going deep again, and it is caught. Wow, are you kidding me? That is, again, Mario Franco.
That's it. I am done. You're going to have to call the game yourself.
That is the old Madden play with Randy Moss, where Culpepper just takes it back and throws it up, and Moss goes up and get it. 45 yards to Mario Franco for the touchdown. And that makes it 12-6. Boy, it doesn't get any better than that. 4th and 2 miles, and Johnson, with his arm, makes a great play.
There's sometimes when we may have a stop, or no, they're going to get the play off here. There are just sometimes when you get stubborn and you're not going to stop until you make that play work. And Johnson figured that Franco beat him the last time. He could beat him again, and by golly, Franco beat him twice.
Absolutely. So here we go. We're going for 2. The Aggies are going for 2. And they're in the shotgun formation. 2 receivers on the near side, 2 on the far side. Hernandez lines up to the left of Johnson. We got a flag on the play.
Possibly delay of game.
Possibly delay of game.
It is
on
delay
the
of game.
Aggies. So now the extra point is going to be taken from the 8-yard line. And I tell you what, the way Johnson's throwing the ball around tonight, if it was on the 8-yard line on the other side of the field, I'm sure he'd be going for it.
That penalty may have been caused by just nerves and just that emotion that came after getting a touchdown on 4th and 27.
And plus, there is no play clock here at Seafoam Stadium. Johnson takes the snap, fires, and he throws it away, and it's incomplete. So it is 12-6. And Mike, we are in for a shootout here at Seafoam Stadium.
It depends what New Life Academy does on this next play. If the St. Agnes defense cannot clamp down, we will be here for a shootout. But I want to talk about that play for a second. There was no reason Johnson had to throw it away on that 2-point conversion, because if it's picked off, you can't score on a 2-point play here. Johnson should have tried to find some receiver. You throw the ball away on a 1st or a 2nd or on a 3rd down. You don't do it on an extra point attempt.
Well, and it is cold out there tonight. It's
maybe the ball got away from his hands.
Could be. You know, cold football. It's about 36 degrees, I believe it was, around kickoff time. So it's a little chilly out there tonight.
Now, here we have some sponsors who have made this broadcast possible.
Yes, I'd like to thank KJ Catering, located at downtown North Street on 7th Avenue.
A1 Lock Service by Kiwi, located at North Snelling Avenue in St. Paul.
Restoration Professionals, located at 505 Minnehaha Avenue West in St. Paul.
And Veolia Environmental Services, located at Como Avenue in St. Paul.
This broadcast is brought to you by Olympic Hourglass, located at 433 University Avenue West in St. Paul. So here we go. The Aggies are going to kick it off right here. It's 12-6 in the first quarter.
Short
kick again. Taken by one of the up men at the 23. He cuts across to the outside and has got nowhere to go. Gets to about the 28-yard line.
It looked like St. Agnes was going for the strip on that play. Good coverage for the St. Agnes deep special teams, and so New Life Academy will have a little bit deeper to work with, but looking at this lineup, I don't think St. Agnes has a true kicker with one of their linemen kicks the ball off and they go for 2-point conversions.
And it was number 29, Ed Blair, on the return. It was a return of 8 yards.
And I should note that most high school teams don't carry pure kickers. Some do, but not many high school players have a pure kicker, and so you'll see, especially in the inner city conferences, a lot of teams take 2-point conversions.
So 11:41 to go here in the second quarter, and the Eagles come out in the shotgun formation. 3 receivers on the near side, 1 on the far. Stennerson takes the snap, hands off to Olsenubi, and he is stuffed for a 3-yard loss in the backfield.
And did you see who created that play for the St. Agnes defense?
It was like 5 or 6 guys.
Well, the first man to hit him was the quarterback, Andrew Johnson, and that, again, a great example of open field tackling. Causes a loss of 3 yards. Johnson got to him first, and everyone else converged on him, but if you can make those open field tackles, that can stop what would be huge plays on the offensive side.
So here we go, 2nd and 13 from the Eagle 27-yard line. Shotgun formation, 2 receivers near, 2 receivers on the far side. Olsenubi lined up to the right of Stennerson, and Stennerson takes a snap, fakes the handoff, passes on the outside, and it is incomplete as he overthrew Alex Heiser, number 2, at about the 32-yard line.
Heiser was open. Stennerson just couldn't find the right balance of arc and speed, and that was a wasted opportunity, although it was would have been a short gain and wouldn't have helped them out too much anyway, as they have a big third down play coming up.
So it's now 3rd and 13 from their own 27. And this is a big third down. This is a momentum shifter right here for the Aggies if they can stop them here on 3rd down.
This would turn this from a shootout to a potential blowout for St. Agnes, depending on what happens from here.
Shotgun formation, 3 receivers near side, 1 on the far side. Stennerson takes a snap, it's high, fakes the handoff to Olsenubi. He's going deep, and it is incomplete. His intended receiver was number 33, Matt Mashad. And I think Mashad just stopped running there.
Stennerson was hit as he was hit when he threw the ball, and I think that messed up the timing. When you're hit, when you take a hit as a quarterback and you're in the process of throwing the ball, you can't finish that release, and that might have affected his finesse or his speed, and that's why he missed Mashad.
But as a wide receiver too, you got to run the route out, and Mashad looked like he lost the ball for a minute, and the Eagles are punting away, and it is a pretty good punt, and it is fumbled at the 45, picked up by number 3, who turns around on the return, runs it right back up the middle, and gets it to where he fumbled it.
That's Fossend.
Fossend on the return, fumbled the ball on the kickoff, but was able to get back to where he caught it. So
I wonder if this weather is affecting his grip, because we've seen him have a lot of passes slip through his hands. He muffs the punt, and he had a lot of room to return. That was a long punt with little air time. And I think New Life Academy, they got out of a jam, because had Fossend not muffed that punt, he would have had a big return, possibly a big return on his hands. No pun intended.
So here we go. The Aggies take over. Andrew Johnson and the Aggies have the ball 1st and 10 on their own 35. They come on the shotgun formation, 2 receivers near side, 2 on the far side. That is Hernandez in the backfield. Johnson takes the snap, fires, and it is incomplete, as he was shooting for number 18,
Franco.
Mario Franco, and he looks like he just overthrew him there, Mike.
Yeah, he really didn't get any sort of rhythm on that play going. He just fired it too hard and too fast for any of the receivers to really notice where the ball was. That was just a broken play from Johnson's part.
So 2nd down and 10 from their own 35. Stennerson shouting out signals to his wide receivers. Shotgun formation, 4 wide receivers on this in this package. Hernandez to the left. Johnson takes the snap, runs it up the middle, breaks a tackle, breaks another tackle, tries to get to the outside, but is wrapped up by number 35 for the Eagles. And he's not on my roster.
Well, we'll mention this. Derek Johnson, and I understand you're trying to miss a few tackles and gain some more yards. He did gain 6 yards, but in that case, he broke a few tackles. Got through that first wave. I think he made one too many cuts. He should have just tried to run up the middle because he's already shown he can move the pile. You don't need to cut too many times. But we'll see what happens here on 3rd down.
3rd and 4 after the 6-yard quarterback keeper. The option play. Johnson pitches the ball to Hernandez. Hernandez cuts the ball up the middle, but he is short of the 1st down. It looked like a gain of 3 on that play.
And just as we were talking about a shootout on our hands here, we're starting to see the defenses clamp down, but it looks like St. Agnes might go for it again. I don't see a punter out, and this is a very gutsy call on Finney's part because if they don't convert this, New Life Academy they'll take over, and not only that, but they'll be in St. Agnes territory.
Yeah, they'll have great field position to start out to start their next drive. So here we go, big 4th down for the Aggies, 4th and 2 from their own 43-yard line. Johnson takes a step, hands off to Hernandez, and he is met in the backfield with authority from number 75, Adam Kraus, who makes a huge 4th down tackle, and the Eagles will take over with excellent field position at the Aggie 37-yard line.
They're already close to field goal range, and I think that was a case where this is the side effect of not having a kicker on your team. If St. Agnes had a punter or a kicker, I'm sure they would have punted that ball away, but because they don't, or it doesn't appear that they do, they had to go for it on 4th down in their own territory, and that was great discipline from the New Life Academy Eagles to stay on their assignments, and they got Hernandez in the backfield.
And the big D tackles that the Eagles have up front. Adam Kraus being one of those guys, just exploded through the line for a great stop. Here we go, Stennerson in the shotgun, hands it off, and he is met at the line of scrimmage. Osanubi with no yards on the carry, but good defense by the Aggies to come out.
I was just talking about gap discipline, and we see the same thing from St. Agnes, and they're going to need it, especially as the New Life Academy is in their own territory. They had all their linemen beat for New Life Academy. The Aggies got through, and a running play or any kind of play for that matter just was not going to work out well for the Eagles.
So here we go. The Eagles come out again. Shotgun formation. Osanubi to the right of Stennerson. Stennerson takes the snap and keeps it. No, pitches it on the outside. Option play to number 39. Wow, my roster is just John Kimlinger on the tackle.
Yeah,
there's 4 on the play, and I do not have a number 39 on my roster.
That was a very dangerous play from Stennerson's part. He was already going down, and for a moment I thought it was a fumble. Stennerson lucky enough to get the play off and pick up a few yards, but one wrong move, one false move, and that could have been a huge defensive output for the Aggies, but they do have 3rd down. We have a flag on the play. Delay of game, it appears, and
we will check the flag,
it is
delay of game.
And that on offense just kills you. You had 3rd and 6, which was a manageable 3rd down. Now you go to 3rd and 11, and you don't have as many plays on 3rd down for a 3rd and 11 as you would on the 3rd and 6. You probably are going to see some type of passing play here. The rushing game hasn't been as effective after that first drive.
So it's 3rd and 11 from the Aggie 38. Eagles in the shotgun formation. 3 receivers on the far side, 1 on the near. Stennerson takes the snap, backs up, and he is getting flustered. Throws, and he overthrows his intended target. If he would have made that reception, he still would have been short, but the intended target was number 11, Cody Linton. And it looks to me like here we go, 4th and 11, and it looks to me like the Eagles are going to punt.
They are, and you talked about the intended target being short, but that's what pressure does. You don't necessarily think about where the ball is going, who's catching it. You're focused when all those players are coming at you. And again, this is a great discipline by St. Agnes, staying on their assignments and getting that penetration. You just you start to act on impulse and not logic.
And that 4 and out for the Aggies just turned the field position around. There's the punt taken by number 3, Mike Fossen, at about the 3-yard line, and he gets it on the return to about the 15. Tackled by number 55, Sam Berg, for a 12-yard return, and it's pretty dangerous when you're taking a punt at your own 3. Normally, you let that one bounce and go into the end zone.
Yeah, this is going to be the deepest field position St. Agnes has worked with all game, and they were stuffed in the last offensive drive. If they can't get a first down here, New Life Academy will basically start over from that last defensive series where they forced 4 and out.
So here we go. Johnson takes the snap in the shotgun formation option out to number 9, Ryan Hernandez on the carry from the pitch.
We are not at Notre Dame.
Rudy. And Hernandez with a 5-yard carry.
And
Sam Dufault
you don't
on
need,
the tackle.
Well, Dufault back in. I guess that injury didn't affect him too much. And you don't need 10, 20 yards every play. 5 yards here, 5 yards there, and all of a sudden you find yourself moving down the field. We'll see if St. Agnes can continue that momentum.
Shotgun formation. Andrew Johnson. You got 3 receivers on the far side, 1 on the near. Johnson takes the snap. It's a quarterback keeper. Cuts up the middle, and it looks to be close to a first down. I'm going to say he's going to be a little short.
About 2 yards short. Or 1.5 yards. Once again, though, Johnson not going down on those first wave of defenders. He always finds a way to get past them, and he picks up, what would have been no gain into 3 yards. What would have been 3 yards into 6. What's 5 becomes 10. I really like this guy's mobility.
He sure is making some great plays, not only with his arm, but his leg. Johnson takes
there
the
he goes again.
Quarterback keeper right up the gut, breaks a couple tackles, and gains about 5 yards. That is a definite first down. And the Aggies keep this drive moving. We have 5:55 to go in the first half. Aggies driving right now, 1st and 10. They'll have it on their own 30-yard line.
And if I'm a Division I scout, I really want to check this guy out. And if you're watching this game and you haven't heard of this guy, come over here, check him out before the season is over. He still has 1 more year left to play, but his mobility just amazes me, and his passing abilities also impresses me. He is making smart decisions all over the field.
He's got an impressive arm. And here we go, a shotgun formation. Johnson takes the snap, fires deep. He's got a guy open. That's caught. Number 25 on the reception, and what a catch.
And that catch was made because Church beat his coverage. Church had one-on-one coverage, and that's a byproduct of the shotgun formation. You have 4 receivers, so you have to send a lot of backs out there to cover them. Church had single coverage, beat his man, made the catch. Big gain for St. Agnes as now they're in the red zone.
That's a 55-yard gain for the connection. Andrew Johnson to Charlie Church. 1st and 10 at the New Life Academy 16-yard line. Shotgun formation. Boy, I tell you what, Johnson has looked impressive. Johnson takes the snap, and he escapes back to the line of scrimmage, but is sacked by number 79, Zach Jusak.
Loss of 2 yards, and you have to give Johnson credit for trying to make something happen there. But for those of you keeping track, that 55-yard catch by Church is not his longest of the season. He had a 61-yard catch earlier this year. Church definitely on the end of some explosive plays from Johnson's arm. I'd like to see if they could get that cloned and I could attach that to my body. There's one thing I don't have, it's throwing strength.
So here we go. 2nd and 12 from the Eagle 18. High snap. Johnson rolls out to the left, slips, but is able. He's got a guy wide open in the end zone, number 84. That is Bennett. Kyle Bennett,
who wasn't even supposed
for
to
the touchdown. And he was wide open, Mike. There was nobody within 10 yards of Kyle on that play.
Bennett starting in place of Gutzman. Gutzman in the hospital tonight for St. Agnes, and you're right, broken coverage on the New Life side. There was nobody within 10 yards of Kyle Bennett's position, and for a guy like Andrew Johnson, that's just easy picking. New Life Academy has to make sure they stay on their assignments, or St. Agnes is going to blow them out of the water here. They're up by 2 possessions already.
So here we go. St. Agnes with 4:27 to go on that scoring drive is lining up to go for 2. Shotgun formation. Andrew Johnson keeps it, runs it up the middle, and it is close. No good, as Johnson is short of the 2-point conversion. 4:27 to go here in the first half. It is St. Agnes 18, New Life Academy 6, and we'll be right back right after this.
This game brought to you by 2 Smart Cookies, located at 181 Snelling Avenue in St. Paul.
We would also like to thank Play It Again Sports, located at 145 North Snelling Avenue in St. Paul.
Carter's BP British Petroleum, located at Como Avenue in St. Paul.
Unix Customs, located at 357 Como Avenue in St. Paul.
London Lang Flowers and Gifts, located on South Snelling Avenue at St. Clair in St. Paul.
This broadcast is brought to you by the Associated Bank, located at 176 Snelling Avenue North in St. Paul.
Shell and Gray Auto Electric on the corner of Snelling and Marshall in St. Paul.
Goby's Grill and Pub, located at 472 South Snelling Avenue and Randolph in St. Paul.
And Bradley's Plumbing, located at 2533 7th Avenue East in North St. Paul.
Connie's Cream Cone on the corner of 1197 North Dale Street in St. Paul.
And John's Barbershop, located on Dale and Hatch in St. Paul.
Yalino Properties Incorporated, located at 986 Dale Street North in St. Paul.
And we'll get to more sponsorships later. I want to talk about New Life Academy, and if you're Paul Mork, what you want to tell this team is, hey, this game is not over yet. We're only down 2 possessions. They can score in this next play, get a stop. They're back in this game. They cannot allow themselves to beat themselves at this point.
So here we go as a kick. It's another short kick taken by one of the upmen, number 34, Sam Dufault. And he breaks it on here to the outside and tackled from behind, spins away to get across the 35. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Eagles at their own 36-yard line.
And Dufault was hurt to start this game, and he almost broke it for the distance. If St. Agnes doesn't wrap him up there was nobody on the right side to handle Dufault. He was that close from breaking it open for a touchdown.
He had 3 Aggies around him and somehow, some way, spun it to the outside and found a crease and was able to get an extra 5 or 6 yards on that return. So the Eagles will have it 1st and 10 at their own 36 to start this drive. 4:16 to go in the half. An important drive for the Eagles to end this half.
About 2 minutes to go in the half.
They do get the ball to start the second half, but you would like to get some points on the board to end the first to get some momentum back your way.
Absolutely. Stennerson takes the snap, hands off to number 39, cuts it across the left side, breaks a couple tackles, and a nice gain on 1st down.
Taylor Winbush.
Taylor Winbush.
He was number 54, and then his number was changed to 39, I believe. And that was some good running. He made some cuts on the left side and picked up a good gain, and that's what New Life Academy needs to do. They don't necessarily need the home run play. You know, they get 8 yards here, 7 yards there. Before you know it, just like we saw with St. Agnes, you get that 50-yard bomb.
And again, to go back to the keys of the game that we stated in the beginning of the game, that's what the Eagles got to do. They want to keep that high-powered Aggie offense on the sideline. Stennerson under center, wide receiver up on the far side and the near. Stennerson takes the snap, fake handoff, and he's got a guy open here on the side, and it is caught by number 22, John Brocker, on the reception. We got a flag on the play, but as it stands right now, that's a 17-yard catch.
And it looks like it's going to be against St. Agnes. The flags came down. It might be a pass interference play or something, but this is going to be this will be a 1st down. Yeah, they're talking with New Life on whether they want to accept or decline it. So it is pass interference. And they decline it because they gain more than they would have gotten on the pass interference. In high school, it's a 15 yards and an automatic 1st down, not a penalty from the spot of the foul. That was just a great catch by Brocker and St. Agnes with that pass interference. That's when you know you've beaten your coverage.
It was a great great job by Stenerson to stay in the pocket. He took a shot after he threw that pass to Brock, but again, nice composure by Stenerson to stay in the pocket. Here we go. Stenerson under center. Osanubi in the back. Stenerson takes the snap, keeps it himself. Looked like a little confusion on the play, but Stenerson is able to gain about 2 on the carry.
Stenerson was looking for Dufault. I don't know if that was a fake handoff or Dufault thought he was supposed to grab the ball or what happened. That was just a broken play. They're lucky they were able to gain anything on that.
I think Stenerson and Dufault kind of huddled up after the play and said, hey, was I supposed to take that? And Stenerson looked at him and said, yeah.
Well, it's okay. It's only second down.
They are in Aggie territory.
It's not. It is. They are in St. Agnes territory. They don't need to beat themselves over that little mishap. We got a timeout. It looks like it. Yes, we do.
Timeout, Eagles.
And while we
go ahead.
2:29 left to go in the second quarter. St. Agnes up 18-6, and we'd like to remind you that coming up at the halftime report presented by RDA Collectibles and Karen's Monogramming and Sportswear, Lou Michaels will take the field to interview the coaches. And you will also get a stat update from us. So again, stay tuned for the halftime report brought to you by RDA Collectibles and Karen's Monogramming and Sportswear.
And we'd also like to tell you that at the end of the game, both Mike and myself will choose a player of the game from each team.
And I won't spoil it this time. We'd also like to thank Pho Ca Dao Vietnamese restaurant located at University Avenue in St. Paul.
This broadcast is brought to you by Glasgow Automotive Service Incorporated, located at 740 University Avenue in St. Paul.
Aurora St. Anthony Neighborhood Development Corporation, or ASANDC, located at University Avenue West in St. Paul. We'd also like to thank Automax for bringing you this broadcast, located at University Avenue in St. Paul.
And LetterTech Custom Vinyl Graphics, located at 509 University Avenue West in St. Paul.
So we come out of this timeout, and I know you're doing play-by-play for the moment, but what do you think New Life does to try to get 6 points?
Mike, this is a team effort. This is a team effort. New Life Academy, we're looking for a big play. They got 2:29 left to go here in the half, 2nd and 8, and they got plenty of time to get 38 yards down the field. As a matter of fact, Stenerson takes the snap, fake handoff, and he is going absolutely nowhere as he's met by number 50 for the Aggies.
That was Charlie Steiner, one of the defensive ends.
Steiner, a defensive end for the Aggies, and he is sacked for looks like an 11-yard loss on the play. That is a big sack. Takes the Aggies to a...
They actually marked it down to the 45. Well, now they're discussing it with forward progress, but St. Agnes now calling timeout, thinking, hey, we can stop them. They can get some points before the end of the half.
Yeah, they want to get their high-powered offense back on the field. With 2:18 to go here, it's 3rd and a mile, and these guys, if they can stop from here, they want the ball back because that's a lot. There'll be a lot of time for the Aggies to do some work.
With 2 timeouts left, that's an eternity, but they have to stop them here on the 3rd down before that happens. But as the refs are still having the St. Agnes timeout there, I want to go back to that play. I mean, that had no chance. Again, St. Agnes, give them credit for their discipline after that first series out on the field. Since that series, they have not allowed any points on the board. I know it's still early. There's still 2 more halves left, or 2 more quarters left. But the gap discipline, I think I might need a glass of water. But the gap discipline for St. Agnes has been phenomenal. They stay on their assignments. They don't break from them. They do their homework, and they're getting a great grade as a result.
Yeah, they got a great push up front. Them defensive ends had great push up front, and Charlie Steiner just blew his tackle, or he broke his ankles, and left Stenerson with nowhere to go. So here we go. It's 3rd and a mile, 3rd and 17. Stenerson in the shotgun, 3 wide receivers on the far side, 1 on the near. Stenerson takes the snap. Back to pass. He's got pressure, gets it away, and it is short of his intended receiver, number 11, Cody Linton. So here we go, 4th and long, 2:13 to go in the half, and the Aggies got a chance to make something happen here with the last drive of the half.
Here comes the punting unit, 2:13 left, and an eternity for St. Agnes. As we saw in that last play, they didn't need 2 minutes and 13 seconds to move the ball down.
And the way the Aggies offense is working tonight, 2 minutes and 13 seconds, Mike, you're right, is an absolute eternity for this team. And Andrew Johnson has been very impressive in this first half.
If I'm a Division I coach, I want that guy on my team. I don't care if it's a small, well, I think he should get a big, I don't care what school it is, especially if you're one of those bigger schools watching. You want this guy, Andrew Johnson, on this team. And the best part is next year he's going to come back as a senior, and he's proven he can do just about everything. Much like the great quarterbacks in high school football are the ones who are versatile. There was Freddie Coleman, who graduated a few years ago at St. Paul Johnson. He's finishing up his college career in basketball at North Dakota State, playing for the Bison. They got to the NCAA tournament last season. Greg Morse, he did the same thing, was agile, could scramble and pass well. He's currently the starting quarterback at St. Thomas. He didn't get picked up by a Division I school, and a lot of people were surprised at that. He went to Como Park, and a lot of people theorized that he did not get selected because he went to an inner city school or a city school where there isn't as much exposure. And I'm just getting some updates here on the Twins score. They're tied up at the bottom of the ninth inning. It's very stressful. The Yankees are known for their beating of the Twins this season. But going back to my discussion with quarterbacks, the best quarterbacks in the state are the ones who are not one-dimensional. They can hit you from all sides.
So here we go. It's 4th and 17. The Eagles are punting. Mike Fossen to return the punt. He is standing at his own 17-yard line. And here's the kick. It's a good kick. Taken by not taken by Fossen. He lets this one bounce. And it will be down by the Eagles at the Aggie 12-yard line. 2:04 to go in the first half. The Aggies will have the ball 1st and 10 right after this.
Fossen just continues to baffle me. He receives a punt at the 3, gets it up to the 15. That time, it was about the 20-yard line, and he could have even just tried to fair catch the ball. Maybe he, probably didn't get anywhere close to him, and that's why he let it go. But if for St. Agnes, for the one thing they are really looking to improve on for the second half, I would talk to Fossen and figure out what's going on and try to get him in sync with the rest of the Aggies.
So here we go, 2:04 to go in the first half. Andrew Johnson taking his team down. Johnson takes the snap, rolls out to the left side. He's got a guy open, number 3, Fossen with the catch, and he dropped the ball. He was open across the middle, and he got hit hard by number 5. Number 5 is Carl Stenerson, the quarterback for the Eagles. And I've noticed, especially with these smaller schools, Mike, that a lot of guys play both sides of the ball, and you've seen that a lot tonight with guys like Johnson and Stenerson, who are both great athletes.
I was just talking about Fossen, and once again he drops a catch.
Johnson in the shotgun, takes the snap, rolls out, and tosses it away, but he was flushed out of the pocket by number 47, and he didn't get. He wanted to throw it, or he threw that one before he wanted to, Mike.
And it looks like we're going into extra innings over in New York, but in that case, you couldn't blame Fossen for not making the catch. That one was just out of his hands. As you mentioned, Johnson flushed out of the pocket. When you're under pressure, that's when you start to make mistakes and do things without necessarily thinking, and that's what happened on that play.
And you know what? If the Eagles stop him here on 3rd down, they got an opportunity to get the ball back with a lot of time left, and they could probably go put some points on the board before the end of the half. Minute 52 to go here in the first half. Johnson in the shotgun, 2 receivers on the far side, 2 in the near. Johnson takes the snap, rolls out of the pocket, and he's got a guy open deep, and it is overthrown as Mike Fasson he slipped by the corner and was wide open at the 50-yard line. Johnson just missed him on that connection. And Mike, they've had their opportunities tonight to go deep. They just haven't been able to get to connect.
Johnson and Fossen, again, remind me of Brett Favre and Bernard Berry, and although those two are now starting to hook up for the Vikings, Fossen, you were right, he was wide open, and Johnson did a great job of evading tackles there to avoid a huge sack, and he just couldn't put the right amount of touch on that ball for Fossen to catch up to it. I don't understand why he needed to air out the ball. You know, Fossen was open. You don't need to make him pursue it. Just
put it in his hands and let him go. Absolutely.
Exactly. Put it in his hands, let him go. And now we've got a timeout here for St. Agnes.
And it's a big decision for St. Agnes. They have yet to punt in this game, but right now they have the ball 4th and 10 at their own 12-yard line. And Mike, with this much time to go, you'd think that they just got to punt the ball away here. They're too deep in their own territory, and you don't want to give the Eagles any momentum going into halftime.
Absolutely not. But as I mentioned earlier, St. Agnes doesn't have a true kicker, and we mentioned these smaller schools or schools that don't necessarily have the support level like Eden Prairie, who I believe you're calling next week. They just don't have those true kickers, those true punters to get them out of those jams, and now St. Agnes finds themselves in a bit of trouble here.
Yeah, if they don't convert on this 4th and 10, the Eagles will take over deep in Aggie territory.
They'll be in the red zone.
And again, to have that kind of momentum going into halftime, the coach Paul Mork has got to be. He's got to be real happy with the performance of his defense up to now. The Aggies are still within reach, and this is a big 4th down here. And it looks to me like the Aggies are going to make the right choice and punt the ball away.
And look who they've got, Fossen, and he's had some trouble hanging on to the ball here, so if he muffs that punt or muffs the snap, this could be big trouble.
So here we go, Fossen from his own end zone, and it looked to me like he was going to fake it, but he just ran it to the side, ran it to the right side of the field and punted it away. A decent kick from Fossen, and the Eagles will take over 1st and 10 in Aggie territory at the Aggie 49. 1 minute 37 seconds to go, Mike, here in this first half. And the Eagles got to feel real confident right now because they're 2 scores away in this game, and they got the ball right now going into halftime. They got 1 minute 37 to go to put some points on the board. Big confidence booster right now.
I believe they also have 1 timeout left, too, to stop the clock. But the St. Agnes defense, they have stayed to their assignments, and they have not budged since that first possession. I wanted to go back to that kick about Johnson. He ran to the right side, just like we've seen more Wildcat offense in all levels of football. You're starting to see more punters, instead of running directly ahead, just running to the side, trying to get some, perhaps evade some tackles or something. It's starting to become a more common tactic in the football games, are directional punts.
Stenerson under center, I formation. Stenerson back to pass. Pump fake, and he's going deep. He's got number 2, and it is incomplete. Number 2, the intended receiver, Alex Heiser, and Stenerson had a great shot at getting him. Heiser evading his quarterback and sneaking in the backfield for that deep play there.
And the reason why that play was broken up, because at the very end, John Kimlinger, number 21, the cornerback for the St. Agnes, got his hands in there and I think just messed up that timing just enough for the ball to go through Heiser's hands. So Kimlinger saves what likely would have been a touchdown.
Minute 30 to go here in the first half. 2nd and 10 on the Aggie 45 as the Eagles line up for the snap. And I've noticed on these last 2 drives, Mike, that the Eagles have shied away from the shotgun, and you see Stenerson under center a little bit more now. We have a flag on the play for a delay of game, which hurts the Eagles. They were already in 2nd and long. Now they're going to 2nd and 15, and that is just not good. That's a drive killer. Those delay of games are a drive killer, but here at Seafoam Stadium, there is no play clock, and that could be hurting these quarterbacks, not having a play clock to see how long they have to get the ball off.
I'll talk more about that later when we get a moment.
Pro form formation. Stenerson takes the ball under center, and here's the snap. Stenerson pitch to Mashad. Mashad looks like he's going to pass, and does, and it is complete to number 11, Cody Linton. And look at that, a little trickery out of the Eagles playbook.
It doesn't get them much, though, only 3 yards. And the reason why it was only a 3-yard game was the St. Agnes defense. They picked up on that option right away, and Mashad was able to get rid of it to his receiver. But by that point, the coverage was just too much for New Life Academy to handle. And as they line up here for a 3rd and 9.
So here we go. That was a 7-yard gain on the play. 3rd and 15. Now it's 3rd and 9. 3rd and 8, excuse me. And here we go. 1:30 to go. It doesn't even look like they started the clock on that last play. That could be what the referees are discussing right here.
If the ball went out of bounds, the clock will stop, but if it was kept in bounds, that's where they'll have a running clock. But this gives me a moment to talk about the play clock, and I know there's a cost issue to it and things like that, but even at college stadiums where you do have play clocks available, I don't understand why you don't have somebody running that play clock. We've already seen several delay of game penalties, and it's not necessary, I'm not trying to deflect blame here or anything like that, but I'll finish that point.
All right, here we go. I formation. Stenerson under center, takes the ball, hands it off up the middle. That's Mashad breaking tackles, and that's a big run for Mashad at the 30, spins around at the 20, and he is taken down at the Aggie 18. And Mike, that was a huge run. Almost 35 yards on the run there. And Matt Mashad just busting tackles and busting outs for a huge gain. And that puts the Eagles in the red zone.
And in high school and in college, the clock stops for to move the chains. And you're right, Mashad, that was an Adrian Peterson-like run. I know I've used him quite a bit in these last couple of weeks, but he just broke through that first wave, and then he just weaved his way through other tackles to pick up a 35-yard gain, and that gives some new life into new life.
So here we go.
Oh my
54
God.
seconds to go here in the half. Stenerson in the shotgun takes the snap. Stenerson back to pass, got a guy open in the middle. That's Mashad, and that's a catch and a fumble. Fumble on the play, and the Eagles.
They may have ruled
ruled it down by contact.
They do. The clock is still running.
And that is a huge break. Huge break for the Eagles. Stenerson under center.
30 seconds left.
30 seconds to go as the clock is running. Stenerson takes the snap, and he throws. It is incomplete. Intended for number 2, Alex Heiser. He just short-armed that one. So here we go. 24.3 seconds to go. 3rd and 1 from the Aggie 9-yard line.
And that incompletion actually benefited New Life Academy, or I believe it did. Had that pass been caught, the Eagles would have been forced to burn their last time out because he was nowhere near the out-of-bounds line. But instead,
but in high school football, the clock stops at a first down, so
he was short of it, I thought.
Oh, no, he would have had it if he had that.
Well, I guess I need my ice checked.
Here we go. Stenerson under center, takes the snap, and it is stuffed as it's handed off to Mashad in the backfield, and he is stuffed for a 5-yard loss. 15.5 seconds to go in the half, and a loss of 5 there, and a costly loss for the Aggies. The Eagles. Timeout, Eagles. That's a big play right there for the Aggie defense.
Exactly, because it forces New Life to burn their last timeout, and with 15.5 seconds left, it's going to be 4th down here. Well, they'd only have time to really get off one play. The clock does stop to move the chains, but even if they do, they're going to have to hustle that ball to get another play off. So that St. Agnes defense, I have to give them credit after that first series.
Big 4th down here, though, for the Aggie defense now. And it's been a good first half. Both teams have been able to move the ball well. And this is a big play right here. This is a big play going into halftime for the New Life Academy Eagles.
With St. Agnes getting the ball back, if they can stop New Life Academy, that would create a huge momentum shift over to the Aggies, who have proved they've been able to move the ball far more effectively on offense than New Life Academy has. And I don't understand why New Life Academy went away from the shotgun formation. We saw them going under center more. It was working for them, and their running back, Dami Osanubi, he was doing well running from the shotgun. If I'm New Life Academy, regardless of what happens here, I would consider moving back to the shotgun formation because that is what has worked for your offense.
And I wonder if something's happened to Osanubi because I haven't seen him on the field for the past 2 series for the Eagles. It's been Matt Mashad in the backfield. Here we go, shotgun formation. 3 receivers on the far side. Stenerson takes the snap, and it is incomplete. His intended receiver was
Looked like Brocker.
It did look like Brocker.
And
again, a huge play for the Aggies on defense.
And that play was broken up by the Aggies. I think someone got a hand on it as Stenderson released the ball, and that popped it up. And instead of
Fossen was the guy who got a hand on number 3.
Well, I guess if Fossen can't catch the balls, he may as well deflect them. But and it looks like St. Agnes, they're going to try to punch one in there. They're not going to do a knee with 10 seconds.
10.5 seconds to go. Johnson takes the pass. He's winding up. He's going deep. He's got a guy, and it is incomplete. Intended for number 18 on the play, Mario Franco. And I tell you what, Johnson, he is not afraid to air this out.
Finney, I don't know who's calling the plays here, but Finney is really bold as far as the play calling goes. And now we've got another timeout with 5 seconds.
Got an injured player on the far side of the field. An injured Aggie player is down at the 39-yard line. We'll check out who that is. It's real cold out tonight, so you got to worry about muscle pulls and things like that in the 30-degree weather. And it looks to me like it could be a cramp. They're working on his legs. So
it's interesting you mentioned that because cramping tends to be an issue more when it's hot and humid. But having you playing football, and with you playing football, maybe you can explain to us what causes cramping, because you would think it only happens in hot and humid weather when players get dehydrated.
It's both. It's not only in hot and humid weather, but it's in cold weather too. You really got to keep your muscles warm, and you got to keep water in them, because if you don't, and he's being helped off. It's number 84.
That was Bennett.
Kyle Bennett, who's had a couple big plays in this game. So that's a big loss for the Aggies, and I don't know if it's a knee or if it's an ankle, but he looks to be in a lot of pain, and the coaches are helping him carry him off. So we hope that Kyle Bennett's all right.
This is probably a silly question, but I'm guessing you've been the victim of some cramping?
Absolutely. It is. It's not just in the hot weather. You really do got to worry about it in the cold weather, because muscles, when you're all heated up and you're all warmed up, you're sweating, and you gotta worry about keeping hydrated in any kind of weather, especially in football. Here we go. Johnson takes the pass, and it's complete to looks like number 9, who's just all over right now, gaining of 27. And boy, that play happened so fast I couldn't even call it.
Well, it didn't matter. Hernandez was trying to make something out of nothing there with the clock
expired,
but that was good tackling. And for New Life Academy, if they allowed that to be a touchdown, then that likely would have been the death knell for New Life Academy. But they have 2 more quarters to try to come back.
So here we go. It is halftime at the St. Agnes homecoming, where the Aggies are up 18-6 over the New Life Academy Eagles. And we'll be back with halftime stats right after this.
This program is made possible in part by funding from Associated Bank with 17 locations in the St. Paul area. Raymond Auto Body, providing collision repair services to the Twin Cities for 4 generations. RDA Collectibles, specializing in coin collectibles and sports memorabilia in the Oakdale area. Karen's Monogramming and Sportswear, customizing embroidery for over 10 years in Oakdale, and by continuing contributions from viewers like you. Thank you.